coming at you at TaylorMade Muscle Cars. We have a 1973 Plymouth Road Runner, a real Road Runner, for sale. I bought this from Tennessee like a year and a half ago, and I was going to put a Hellcat motor in it and leave it kind of patina. It has a lot of original paint. It's got some bumps and bruises, but it's a pretty solid car. Shows well. I was going to do the Hellcat motor in it and then just drive it like it is. Just do the suspension. And then we ended up getting that 68 Charger from a friend of mine. So now I'm going to put the Hellcat motor in that. And we'll do a video on that pretty soon. Anyways, we'll do a walk around. I did put it on Marketplace, and a lot of people had asked for some information on it, and I figured let me do a video. I'll do some close-ups and we can talk about it, hear it run, even do a road test, and that's it. Next person that asks me a little bit about it, I'm going to send them the video. Come on. I got Ugly Mike behind the camera. I forgot what the name of the color is, but it's a really neat brownish gold, and in the sun it almost looks like a candy. The code is on the Fender tag. It does have the proper Fender tag. It is a real Road Runner. I know I mentioned that. VIN number on these, if you get closer, RM. So a lot of people said, oh, it can't be a Road Runner 318. Well, that was the base motor in 73 and 4. RM. R as in Ron, M as in Mary. When it starts out with that, it's a Road Runner. Satellite would be R as in Ron, is H as in Henry. So RM, and then fifth letter is G, and then that means it's a 318. So anyway, there's a 318 in here. I don't think it's the original motor. I never verified, but it has some 318 truck characteristics, like the valve covers and things. So I'm not saying it's not original, but I'm not saying that it is original. Come on in a little closer, Miguel. Someone did an Edelbrock Performer, factory manifolds, and it's got a little baby Holley 600. And when I bought it, I wasn't worried about the motor because we were going to put the Hellcat motor in it. So I was like, yeah, whatever. But it does run good, and it's a power disc brake in the front. And get a close-up of the Fender tag, Mike. And do it from that side so it's readable. Yep, there's the Fender tag. And so JY9 is the color. Let's take a peek inside. I'll open the trunk. We'll take a peek inside. Interior is really, really, really nice. Seats are in great shape. Dash is in great shape. I put a CD player in there recently with the old 6x9s and the back package tray, and they jam. Carpet's really nice. Sill plates. Oil gauge wasn't working, oil pressure, so I put an aftermarket one down below. Got good oil pressure. Fuel gauge sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I don't know why. It does have a new sending unit and fuel tank, and it is grounded, but sometimes the gauge is working and sometimes it's not. All the headlights, taillights, and the blinkers do work. The horn works. Yeah. Well, take a walk around it. Okay, so when I did get it, it did have some rust down here in the lower quarters, and we did a little repair and blended the paint down from the taillights down over that, because I didn't want to go ahead and do the whole car. It blended really nice, and it was an easy color to get, factory color, like I said. And got the old school mud flaps. Every now and then I see these online. Guys want pretty good money for the old beep beep mud flaps. Did you zoom in on those? Like, yeah. Come on, look at the trunk. Old spare there with the old jack. So looks like the original trunk, and it's solid all over. Super solid. And the gutter, super solid. All the way around, super solid. You can see the factory undercoating on the inner quarter panels on both sides. The floor is decent. It's not perfect, but the floor is decent. Looks like someone did a little rattle can, but it's solid, but it's a little flaky. So there's that, but no major holes or nothing like that. come on, we'll point out a few other little things about it. So the paint is kind of worn through there, and you can see the primer. I kind of like that, at least for the patina look. And then it's got some dings, around the trim, around the rear window. Really, really solid. Looks really, really nice. Once again, some primer burning through there, you know, from back in the day, guys throwing coats of wax on it and stuff. And like I said, I like that stuff. But it does have dings and dents. Bottoms of the doors and the other original doors, bottom of the doors are really, really nice. And inside by the door hinges, get a close up by the hinges, Mike. It's really nice inside there, and down by the rockers. Yeah. One kind of bummer thing is it's got some holes, little holes in the fenders, and the fella told me that they had emblems in there. You know, whatever, 318 or whatever it said. So it does have some little baby holes on both sides of the fender, and there's a little bit more primer wearing through. And bumpers are in good condition, still has the bumperettes. When we start it up, Mike will do a walk around with it running. It's quiet as a mouse. Reasons, check out the oil pressure, idling a little over 40, and so the factory temperature gauge, it does work, the alternator amp gauge does work, and gasoline is intermittent. Let's go for a little blast, and you can even zoom that out if you wanted to. So one of the reasons we're not doing a whole bunch of videos is because I'm no good at editing. So it's hard for me to do the editing and the blending and all that fun stuff. So if we let it roll, I think it'd be better for the editing just to have one big video instead of having several parts and trying to cut them all together. Speedometer does work. Horn does work. It's got the original headliner with a couple little holes in it, but it does have the original headliner, and that's like that tweed cloth, which is kind of neat. And then we'll just go around the block, get it up to 160. I'm just kidding. Maybe 60 at best. It runs really cool. You're running around the block a few times, and the temp gauge stays very cold, but that's typically a 318. They always ran cold, and it's quiet. You know, if we were going to keep it, I would say throw on some nice exhaust and then just drive it and enjoy it. Right? Doesn't it drive nice? This is the year, you know, in 73 and 4 is when they changed the whole cradle. This does have the front and rear factory sway bar, and Road Runners came with the factory sway bar in the rear, not just the front. And then I caught flack online, people saying they never did 318s, they never did 318s. Well, they did. In 73 and 4, they did. And then 68, 69, and 70, the base motor was a 383. But they did go to 318, the same on fuel and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But they also also redesigned the cradle, the K-member underneath in 73, and they handle really, really nice. Much better than previous years. Remember, we have that satellite Sundance, and I think, that's a 74. And I'll tell you, man, it's like this. This one drives like a cloud. It's just beautiful. Now, it was a factory air conditioning car, and the components aren't underneath the hood anymore, but it did have air at one time. You could probably always put it back to air if you wanted to. It has the vent work over here as well as the emblem, and the dash is in great shape. There's a little bit of a crack there, but the rest of it's just in top shape. Heck, if my daughter wanted to keep this one, I would sell the Sundance and keep this. I got no problem running around in this. Take a look at the old Speedo. See how fast we're going. Ugly. Look at that Magilla Gorilla head of his. Alright, here. So yeah, that's it. Has a little pulsation. Maybe the rotors need to be turned. I think a year ago I did new pads. And maybe I did a caliper on it too. One caliper was sticking, so I put a caliper on it and I did pads. It's good enough. Oh yeah, actually, so this weekend in Daytona, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is a big car show. It's called the Spring Rod Run. I am going to bring this there and try to sell it. Been asking 16, and take a little less, but I think I have 18 in it. But we won't talk about that. And that's it, guys. We're about at the end of our quick little journey here.